so your 12-mark question is your second director-based question. Okay, unlike your 9-marker, this time you are directing performance and you are directing a performer on stage. Okay, so it starts out by giving us a little bit of information. In this instance, it says Mark is feeling guilty. So it's telling us a little bit about Mark and how he's feeling in this moment. As a director, discuss how the performer playing this role might demonstrate this to the audience in this extract and the complete play. Okay, it says you must consider voice, physicality, and it also says you must consider stage directions and stage space. Okay, so we need to make sure that our answer covers a range of performance skills in terms of how we're directing or the actor playing Mark. As we did with our previous response, we want to make sure that we are essentially covering with a nice introduction that introduces our ideas. Our introduction in this instance is going to have to outline our concept, all right, as a director. In other words, what are we aiming to communicate or to achieve? How do we want our audience to think or feel? Okay. What are we highlighting about that character? All right, what is the character like? What kind of character are they? And have they changed throughout the play? I then want you to list 4 ways that you would direct the actor to show this. Okay, covering all of these areas. So think about 4 different things you would do. And those 4 things then make your little essay plan. Okay, which is really, really helpful. So for example, you might say, I would use a specific type of voice. Let's say I would use a wavering voice, and then you might mention a few skills that highlight that. You might have a physicality option. So you might talk about posture or body language and how that might communicate your idea. You might also then talk about proxemics, okay, and how near they might be to another performer on stage. And then you might have an extra one. Let's say you're going to talk about facial expressions. So you're going to have a couple of physical skills, for example, and you're going to list the ways in which you do that at the end of your introduction. And all of a sudden, you have got your full plan for the rest of the essay ahead. So, for example, you might say, as a director, my aim is to, and then you might want to say, communicate. Let's say we're talking about Leah, Leah's sense of social isolation, for example, and her emotional vulnerability in this moment. You're then going to say, this reflects the play's wider themes of, and then you can connect it with the wider themes, so the wider themes of morality and collective responsibility, okay? I want the audience to perhaps feel her desperation. So maybe I want the audience to feel her desperation for connection and the painful silence that she receives from Phil. Okay, I'm going to back this up by giving a little bit more information about her. Leah is insecure and increasingly aware that her, let's say, her words to Phil have no impact. For example, okay, and then I might say she begins the play as hopeful and talkative. And then by the time we get to the end of the play, her isolation is complete. And because she disappears without explanation. And I want to draw attention to that in my portrayal of her on stage. Okay, so I'm then going to say, I aim to highlight this. Maybe her loneliness and her need for validation. Okay, and I might say that this shows how isolation can exist even in close physical proximity. Okay, and kind of link that a little bit. I'm then going to say how I'm going to show this. So I might say, I will show this in this extract by directing the performer to use, and then I'm going to say a wavering vocal tone and pace that speeds up when she's anxious. I might say physicality by slowly shrinking her posture and moving from open gestures to more closed and protective ones. I'm going to mention my proxemics. I'm going to say that I'm going to start off having her positioned close to Phil, and then as her isolation grows, I'm going to distance her away from Phil further and further. And then my wild card, my extra one, my facial expression is going to say perhaps that she's going to have a forced smile, all right, that fades into blankness, which reveals her inner despair. Okay. Then again, I'm back onto my cider structure, which is obviously nice and easy to remember. We just need to make sure that we're doing the 12-mark version of the cider. Okay, so my context is easy. I'm going to use a quote, just like I always do. Okay, when Leah says this, okay, I'm then going to identify the particular skill. I already know what it is because I'm going to take it from my introduction. Okay, so if it's my first cider, I'm going to write the first thing I've listed in my introduction, which for me, if I go back, I know I'm going to talk about her use of vocal tone. Okay, and my whole first paragraph is going to be about that. Okay, nice and easy. My details are then my really specific details are about what it looks like or sounds like on stage. Okay, so again, paint a picture with words and make sure it's really clear exactly what I'm trying to achieve, and my examiner can picture that nicely. Okay, I've got to make sure I do a little bit of analysis on that as well by zooming in on the details. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Imagine my pinch and zoom is going in on my phone and I'm paying close attention to the little moments. So I would direct Leah to start with a hopeful, slightly upbeat tone, and then I'd let her voice falter mid-sentence, such as on this particular word. This would drop in pitch and slow down in pace. Her words would sound like she's searching for reassurance, but she knows she won't get it. Okay, I'm then going to evaluate it, all right, and talk about why this works or why it's effective and a good choice, which is nice and easy because it's my idea as a director, so I obviously think it's a really good choice. Okay, my relate, this is my super secret special moment that's different from the other parts of the exam. I need to make sure I'm linking this to other moments in the play. Okay. So this is where I'm going to say, I would use a similar technique earlier in the play, but I'd keep the tone lighter to show her initial optimism. Okay, this recurring motif of faltering speech reinforces her isolation as the play progresses. All right, so I might say, does Leah always do this? Is it the same every time? Okay, does it change? All right, is there something else I do with Leah? Does she go on a bit of a journey? I like to use the word motif. If it's a recurring motif, it's an idea that I keep seeing again and again. Perhaps I can mention that to my examiner as well. All right, and that is my paragraph. I'm going to try and do that 4 times to make sure I've got enough detail to get my full 12 marks in my 12-mark response. Okay,